Hi, this is Nancy Conrad, and I wanted to show you today how you can get the most return from a turnkey rental investment. So let's look at John. John's an investor who has wisely secured his retirement by buying turnkey rental properties in his self-directed IRA. These are managed by a rental company that takes care of all the problems, and they let him know when expenses come up. He receives a 10% return on his investment every month like clockwork. It's a great deal because his investments are secured by real estate. But John can do even better by becoming the bank. Let's look at two different ways to increase the balance in John's IRA so he can retire with more money. Let's look at one of John's properties. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath rental unit with 800 square feet and a full basement in Pontiac, Michigan. So it's, basically 1,600 square feet. He rents it out for $800 a month. After taxes, insurance, and management fees, John deposits $628 monthly. So John's deal looks like this. He has a purchase that he made for $62,830, rents it for $800. It nets $628. That's an ROI of 10%. That's a fine deal for John. But he could buy more of these properties and get a great cash flow to pay him throughout his retirement years if he kept on doing this. But it would take him probably 10 years of accumulating rent to buy another property. That's kind of a problem. So what if we could speed that up? Let's look at the 30-20 deal. John decides to sell the house for $75,000 with financing to a tenant or new buyers. They agree to pay John 20% down and pay him the remainder for 30 years. Now we call that the 30-20 deal. That way John gets $15,000. He charges 7.5% interest. You could charge whatever you want. And that's on 360 payments on a balance of $60,000, right? So John receives a payment every month and never has to worry about tenants, toilets, and taxes. That's kind of a big plus. So now John receives a payment of $419.52 on his remaining investment. It's a little less than he got previously, right? Well, maybe. What kind of return is that? The initial investment was $62,830. His down payment was $15,000. Well, the total money he has in the deal invested is $47,830. That's a 9.99% return on his ROI. That's not bad. He's still getting around 10%. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Let's say John sells some of those $419.52 payments to another investor who also wants 10%. Well, let's see what that looks like. Along comes Kathy, another self-directed IRA investor who's looking for a good return. Well, she offers to buy 10 years of those payments for a lump sum that pays her 10% on her investment. So she offers to buy those payments for $35,000. If John's tenant buyer hasn't sold the property, he'll end up with a loan after 10 years. And guess what? They'll still owe him $52,000 in change. And John's position looks like this. His initial investment was $62,830. He got a down payment of $15,000. Kathy purchased a partial for $35,000. That means John has a total amount of money in the deal of $12,830. That's a continuing ROI, return on his investment, for 39%. That gives John $50,000 to reinvest in other things so he can grow his IRA a lot faster. That allows him to do this again and again and again so he can more quickly grow that amount over 10 years. But what if John sold the property to another self-directed IRA investor and he financed it for that investor over 10 years? This is going to be how we use the 50-50 deal. Let's go back to Kathy. She wants to own some turnkey rentals too. Rents go up, home values go up, and she likes that. I would. She offers to pay John half now and the other half over 10 years. And besides, she's got more time to accumulate value in her portfolio. This will fit her plan. With the 50-50 deal, John's position looks like this. He purchased the property for $62,000 and change. You remember, he sold it to Kathy for $75,000. Kathy gives him half down, $37,500. So John's total investment right now is $25,330. His payments are $445.13. That's an ROI of 17%, 17.30% to be exact. He's getting great cash flow and he's got a chunk of money to reinvest elsewhere. So that's perfect. He can take his money and put it into another investment and do it all over again. Well, this is how it looks for Kathy because we want to make sure it's fair for both parties, right? The purchase was $75,000. She put in $37,500. Her rental income is $800. Her expenses monthly are $172. That was management fees, taxes, and insurance. The mortgage to John, $445.13. That means she's netting $182 a month. Now, Kathy's looking to grow her IRA in a safe and dependable way that's paid by somebody else, her renter. So she can sell the property at any time. She could lease option it to a new tenant buyer. She can do whatever she wants with it. As long as she keeps paying John, she can control a cash flowing property inside her IRA. John grows his IRA cash flow roughly twice as fast. And Kathy, who may not have as much capital as John, well, she can grow her IRA without having to personally make deposits. With careful and persistent application of these two scenarios, anyone can grow their IRA real estate investment portfolio more quickly, no matter what side of the equation they're on. So, I hope you can use this information to your benefit. Here's to your smarter and more fruitful retirement.